a zoom in and a more rendered look of the carbon stalls designs.
Similar sa squad.
Yep. So what we have showed so far here are the meat or the wet market stalls, the natives, flowers, and the fruit stalls. Zoomed in version, this is how the stalls of the wet market would look like, particularly meat. Okay. During our consultations with them, they specifically asked for a hanging display area, this one. And this will be, the material would be a stainless steel top. Right now, ang scenario sa Unit 1 is gakab ko sila o gagang buckets of water. So magbayad na sila 20-20 or gis kada balde sa tubig, no? But in the new market, they would be dedicated individual faucets with their own reading meters. So whatever they would pay would be actually based on consumption na. Dili na siya itong inadlaw na gis 20-20, depende sa pila kabalde ilang magamit. They also specifically requested for a storage area. So we made sure that the bottom part functions also as storage area for their mga buckets nila, mga coolers nila. Individually, they would also be mga drainage area, a centralized drainage area. The good thing about having a faucet and a drainage facility on each of the stalls is it's the responsibility of the vendor sa iyahang stall para dili mag-clog ang iyahang stall mismo. So kung dili nila i-maintain ang cleanliness, ang entire pipe sa iyahang room mag-clog, then mahugaw ang ilang area. So here we really emphasize that there's a shared responsibility between the city government, the vendors, and of course for us as the developer and operator. So this is just a color-coded area. So the fish fish and seafood is blue. Chicken section would be yellow. This is also how the flower stalls would look like. It's more open, more displays. Right now, manggod, ang rack is nakasandig siya sa wall. So dili nila magamit ang ilaw as a storage area. So what we did with our consultations with them, they wanted forwarded siya. This rack will also function as their storage area for their mga wrappers, mga ribbons na maggamiton. And then the back part will be their storage. Pwede nila makita na mabutang nila mga floral foams, mga carton nila, nga dili siya makadaot sa frontage na display sa ilang mga flowers. Yan. So, as committed also, flower arranging area. And the fruit stalls. We understand that most of them are, there's a huge number of them that are wholesalers and would also need storage area. But the display area for the fruit stalls will be a uniform of 2x2. Those who would need storage, there's a provision for storage area for those for the fruits. All regular vendors will be given 2x2 standard size. Contrary to claims that there's smaller sizes, their current size is 2x2. Once they relocate, their stall size will still remain at 2x2. This is just the look of how the natives vendors would also look like. So, just a bit of information. The designs actually on top is actually inspired by Cebuano culture or Cebuano indigenous prints based on the Boxer Codex, based on the pre-colonial historic tattoos that our ancestors have once had. Okay. So, that's actually how the public market would look like. We'd also like to share that we are very Cebu to World values culture and heritage. That's why in the design, you can actually see na it's the logo and the shape of the building is actually inspired that it looks like a railroad. Because historically, over 100 years ago, Carbon used to be a coal depot with a train, with a coal depot with a train, a steam train using charcoal. The train actually leads to as far as Carcar or Gaona when Cebu used to have a railroad. No? So we made sure that's included. In the architecture, we will be using Cebu bricks also. With a touch of the charcoal na black na color ni Carbon. So, moving forward, this is what actually we've shared to the vendors as well. So again, what we presented to them yesterday is exactly the same deck that we're actually presenting to you now. So, muna ni ang mga kanunay na pangutana. We've answered this before, but in the past years, we'd like to reiterate again, just to reinforce everyone. No? First question is, private na ba ang Carbon? We've recently issued a statement on this, given the recent encounter of a private individual with a guard. So, we remain nagpabiling public market ang Carbon, and the owner of the property and the title remains under Cebu City Government. It is a joint venture agreement. Cebu to World Megawide is the partner of the development. So it's similar to all the other public-private partnerships projects of the Philippines and the government. So property title remains under the government. We are just the developer and the operator. Next is, mawagtangan ba o pwesto ang mga vendors? Matangtangan ba sila? We've already assured everyone since then and until now, we're pretty very much consistent about it. Despite the on-ground noise, dili, walay mawagtangan na vendors o mga pwesto sa mga vendors. Our list will always be based on the official list of vendors issued by the Office of the City Markets. So right now, the list that we have has 5,777 vendors, divided into two groups. The regular vendors or the regular stallholders, which means these are the ones with business permits, the ones regularly paying taxes to the city, are 1,824. The remaining of that, the over 3,900, are all ambulant vendors, which pays the city based on a daily ticketing or Argabala system. So, the awarding of the stalls, the listing of the vendors, remains under the scope or the power of the city government through the Office of the City Markets. It's beyond Megawide or Cebu to World's scope na mo award or mo revise ni sa list. We cannot touch the list. Whatever is given to us, that's what we are provided. But when we check the 5,777, there are actually duplicates. So there are vendors that actually have 2 or more stalls, even 15 or 12, there are even vendors that the entire family are actually listed. But again, that's beyond our powers, our scope. So ours is, our commitment was to provide a space for 5,777, and we're building the development based on that count. We hope that also on the city part, sa Cebu Office of the City Markets, they would be able to refine that list also. Moving forward, pasakaan ba ang abang sa mga vendors or rental sa mga vendors pagbalhin sa bagong merkado? Okay, our answer, dili. Magpabilin nga 850 per square meter ang market rental fees according based on the 2017 market code o sa pagbalhin sa umaabot na bagong building at least until 2028. Why 2028? Because we promised during our previous consultations to the vendors na dili mi mo implement o increase because bago pa man sad. So napatay transition period. So guarantee it's megawatt Cebu World's commitment to guarantee na until 2028 there would be no increase. All of the rates, including entrance fees, we will still follow the 2017 market code. Okay? We wanted a very smooth movement of the vendors. If there will be an increase eventually, yes, because that's already been provided in the 2023 market code. However, again, it's still not being implemented. Okay? So when would this be implemented? That would still be a discussion between the government, the city treasurer, the city legal, and that won't happen anytime soon. Again, we would still follow the 2017 market code. So just a brief background on what's the position of Cebu City market codes comparing to the other cities, neighboring cities. No, we've actually did our own research and checked the market code of each of the neighboring cities: Mandaue, Talisay, and Lapu-Lapu. It varies in sizes, so we computed them based on the actual size. So nag 2 by 2 at least. Note, Cebu City has a 2017 market code. And the 2023, the highest in the highest rate in Cebu City is 21 pesos in 2026 onwards na on a per square meter basis. Mandaue City is the oldest, 2012 pa. However, we've been hearing in the news also that there's a proposed to increase their market code, and up to now they're still ongoing with their market code revision. The same with Talisay City. It's been planned in the City Council, if not this year, probably, if not last year, probably this year, planning to revise also because 2021 pa nilang market codes. If we are to compare, it's 850 per square meter. Every stall in Carbon only pays 34 pesos per stall, daily. Compared to Mandaue City, which is already at for naka per category sila actually, si Mandaue. So, an average of 45 or 90 pesos. Take note, they are still about to increase or revise their market code. Talisay City is already at 133. The market code states, if I'm not mistaken, 150 or 200. But amo lang siyang ibase sa actual computation para apples to apples siya tanan sa 2 by 2 na size. Kay varying man ang size. Lapu-Lapu City is at 150. So, let's say for example, once the market code rate is followed na at 21 pesos per square meter eventually, because it's a gradual man, 15 pesos, 18, and 21 in the 2023 market code. So, ang 21 pesos times 4, that's already 84. Even at 84 pesos, soon, in the next 2029 or 2030 perhaps, at 84 pesos per square per stall, Carbon would still remain as the lowest compared to the other neighboring cities. Okay, so we're just sharing that as additional context. Last would be we'd also like to share this. Truth of the matter is, at least on the ambulant vendors side, mas maubos pa ang bayaran sa mga vendors once they actually come in to the public market. As friends from the media, you can actually verify this yourselves. There are different vendors all over Carbon. Rental fees that the Office of the City Markets or the Market Operations Division collects is 20 pesos. So this is the only ticket that goes to the funds of the city. Then, there's an add-on. For every lantay or kanang display area nilang kanang kawayan, they pay a rent of that 30 pesos per lantay. If you need 2 lantays, that's automatically 60 pesos. You rent for your tent. The ambulant vendors rent for their tent at 100. If you need an additional tent because you need an extra kay nagpag-stock ang daghang space at the back, you'll pay another 100. If, let's say for example, you have your own tent, but every day since taga-bukid man ka, magbilin ka o tent na lang, you pay for a storage fee of 50 pesos per tent. Ang timbangan, kay mas prioritize man sa mga vendors ang pagdala sa ilahang goods. Ang timbangan, mag-abang po sila og 50 pesos per day. Kung kinsa ni sila o asa ni sila nag-abang, there are a lot of operators also within the area. Utilities. For every kabinero or kanang mamulek sa ilaha or through their kapunungans, they are collected 50 pesos. For electricity, unaman na ako ang bulb. For bulb is actually 30 pesos per bulb. So if you need a bulb, mabayad ka og 30. Kung duha ang imong kinahanglan na bulb, 60. Wala kay labot ang connection sa kuryente. Kung magpa-connect na ka, kay imong pasigaan ka mo nga entire row. For example, they pay 20 or for some areas or some roads, 50 pesos. So it varies din naman. And there are also attributed na mga optional naman or voluntary depending on the vendor board. Some are asking for lawyer fees. Some are also asking for insurance at 50 pesos. So market fees alone, the ambulant vendors currently are already paying 350 pesos daily. You may ask to verify this with a lot of carbon market ambulant vendors outside. That's net of market fees pa. On top of the 20 pesos that the market collects, Barangay Ermita, as part of their barangay ordinance also, collects 20 pesos. Minimum, depending on stall size. It can increase to 20. Ang kananan or kanang bigger na tent na kalendarya, it's 100. And of course, their kapunungan. Whichever vendor or they belong to, they are to pay 50 pesos daily. So on a daily basis, they actually pay already 350 and 420. What do they get to pay once, at least for the ambulant vendors, once they occupy the new building? It's only retention of the 20 pesos Arcabala system na market fees, a waste collection of 50 pesos, electricity and probably water, but it will be based on actual consumption because it will be based on each of vendors will have their individual meters. Of course, so that would just be 90 pesos versus the 350. Specifically, we just removed ang Vilina area because we still don't know once up na siya if barangay would still collect or their kapunungans. That will really depend, but this is beyond our scope now. So on an ambulant vendor basis, if you are to compare it, their daily savings, if they actually move in with a better facility, with a roof on their heads, with a cleaner facility, without them taking out and tawagan nila na paghipos adlaw-adlaw sa ilang mga stalls, sa ilang mga pamaligya, they're actually saving as high as 260 per day. In a month, that's 7,800. In a year, that's 94,000. So along the streets, dili lang nato mabantayan nga dako ilang mabayaran kay ginagmay-gagmay man ang hatag, 20, 50. But this is the reality. This is what actually presented from the vendors. Our source for this are actually from the vendors book with amo gining gituyo og ask on the vendors side pa lang yun. So later on, if you have questions, we'll try our best to answer that now. And last